All right, for this instructional video, we're going to be demonstrating how to do a femur, both the AP and lateral projections. We are going to be demonstrating this on a 14x17 cassette, and again, you'll have your orange/red sticker here at the bottom. And we're going to be in the bucky for these, so we're going to slide that in and secure it with our lever here right in the middle. And then my patient, Mrs. Skaggs, is going to lay down flat for the first one. And I'm going to make sure I'm just going to go ahead and put her shield on here now. And then I'm going to get my tube nice and perpendicular and at 40-inch SID. And I will line my bucky up to my tube. It's half the battle, folks. Okay, now we're going to look at her right femur here. And I am going to change my collimation here. So when we're looking at the femur, then we're just going to lining up to the midline of her leg. And we're going to shoot for the bottom portion of her femur here in this lab practical. You will actually likely never get someone's femur all on one projection. So typically we do a 14x17 and then we'll do an additional 10x12 to get the rest of the femur. In this example that we're giving you, which I'm going to have you do for your practical, we will be looking at the bottom portion of the femur on a 14x17. You would then additionally, if you were doing a real patient, do a 10x12 to get the higher portion of their femur, the hip, on. But we are not going to do that for this practical. We're just going to take one image of the AP femur and one of the lateral femur on a 14x17 so you can see what the lower portion would be. So now that I've got her positioned here, I'm going to feel for her patella, which is right here, and then look at the knee joint. And I'm going to put the bottom of my light 2 inches below her knee joint. That's 2 inches right there. And that is how I am centering. I'm just looking at the bottom of my light and placing it where it needs to be. I'm going to collimate inside to side nice and tight. Add my marker out here, right in the light. And I'm going to keep my shield down just as close to the top of that light as I can to protect her. Now I'm going to look at her leg last and make sure that she's got her toes pointed up very, very straight. And that will keep her leg very, very straight. And we will expose this at 85 kVp. Now we're going to do the lateral next. And for the lateral femur, I'm going to take this off of her so she doesn't roll it off when she rolls. Now have her turn onto her affected side. And this time, I'm going to have her bring this unaffected leg way out in front. We're going to hike her leg up, bend that knee, and kind of plant this foot. That's going to place her hips in a more lateral orientation, which is already giving me an advantage in getting her leg lateral. I'm going to place that shield over the back of her here, making sure it truly is shielding the direction that we're shooting radiation towards her. And then again, I'm going to bend her knee more than we did for the knee. It's going to be more like a 45, just get that knee really bent because her knee doesn't make much difference to us. Then I'm going to come down, move my light. I'm going to keep the bottom of my light once again 2 inches below. Now as we can see, if I were just to leave my collimator box like this, I would have to open really far, which Mrs. Skaggs and I are not going to like if we see you guys do that. So we're going to keep our collimation nice and close, but I'm going to rotate my collimator to be in line with the angle of her femur here. And I'm going to move the table over, get right down the center of her femur, keeping 2 inches of light below her knee there. There we go. And I'm going to mark right out here in front. Just at the last, I'm going to check, make sure that patella is nice and in profile. And I see I've got some light on my shield, so I'm going to move my shield a little bit out of the light, still keeping it over her, and I'm going to expose that at 85 kVp as well. And that is your femur.